everyone, and happy September. We are on the cusp of fall and I am really excited for it. I did really enjoy summer, and it's still technically summer until like the 22nd. We got a little bit of ways before it's technically fall, but I'm sure a lot of you guys, as soon as September hits, celebrate all things fall because it is the best. So September is an interesting month because I am participating in another readathon, which I wasn't planning on, but then I heard about the readathon and I had to participate in it. And that is the Contemporary-thon, and that takes place during the 17th to the 23rd. And that is also the busiest week of the whole month for me, so that'll be fun. But either way, I'm participating in that readathon. There are 7 challenges with that readathon. I have already set aside a TBR for that. I'm not sharing in this video what books I'm reading for that readathon with you. I'm going to do a separate video in a couple weeks for that. So just know that I only have like 5 books to share with you guys, but I'm planning to read much more, but I have to unveil them when the Contemporary-thon is around the corner. I hope that makes sense. For the video, I'm going to share with you all the books that I'm reading this month that are not during the Contemporary-thon. The first book I am reading is One Dark Reign by Kendara Blake, which comes out September 5th. It is a few days before September actually starts because pre-filming, so I don't have this book yet, but rest assured, as soon as it's out, I will start reading it immediately. It's the 3rd book in the 3 Dark Crowns series, and there's supposed to be 4 books, I believe, so I love this series. I've loved it since the beginning. It's all about these 3 sisters that were separated at birth. They each have different powers, and basically at the age of 16 they all come together and they like have to fight to the death, and whoever is left standing will be the new queen. And it's very dark, very perfect for fall, so I am so excited to read this. I will do its own single review. I can't wait to read it. Next book I'm planning to read is YA Contemporary. I know I'm reading a lot of contemporaries for Contemporary-thon. Let's keep the trend going. And that is Your Destination on the Left by Laura Spieler. This book has just been calling out to me for some reason. The cover alone is really beautiful. This is a YA Contemporary, like I just said, and it's about a girl named Dessa who is a modern day nomad. Her family travels and lives in an RV, and their lives defined by state lines, exit signs, and the small communal caravan they call home. And then I think she gets an opportunity to go to this art school and things like that, and then something happens and to her RV family or something like that. It just sounds like a really interesting book about a family that travels all the time. I like traveling. I don't love it because I'm very much a homebody. Like I love traveling, but I also like coming home and having a set place where it's home. So it's going to be interesting to read about people that just love traveling, because I have some friends that just travel constantly and they love traveling. So it's going to be interesting to read about a main character that just travels all the time. So that is a YA Contemporary I'm planning to read. Another sequel I'm planning to read this month is Wildcard by Marie Lu. This one comes out on the 18th, I think. This is the sequel to Warcross, which I read last year, and I really enjoyed Warcross. It's a YA fantasy series that's kind of a lighter fantasy series. I think you have like your really dark, deep YA fantasies, and you kind of have your lighter ones, and this one I definitely think is a lighter one. It's about this game, or like a virtual reality world called Warcross, and it's about this game that is in the virtual reality world, and this girl hacks her way into it, and then she gets involved in it with the owner and everything like that. So very, very excited to read this. I think I gave Warcross 5 stars last year, but looking back on it, I'm now thinking like a 4 because I just don't remember a lot about it. It's a fun read, but it's not super memorable. So I'm going to go into it thinking just like that with this book, just expecting a fun, you know, fantasy read. Hope it delivers. Either way, I'm expecting lots of video games and, you know, high-tech stuff. Another sequel I am planning to read is Vengeful, which comes out on the 25th. This is by Victoria Schwab, or V.E. Schwab, and this is a sequel to Vicious, one of my favorite books of all time. Vicious follows these 2 college students who decide to research this thing where if they like die, they can like give themselves kind of superhero powers or superhuman powers, and they do, and they, you know, successfully do this experiment, and they both have powers. And basically the book starts off with one of the characters getting out of jail and going to seek revenge on the other character. And this whole book is the notion of good versus evil, right versus wrong. Is it black and white, or is it gray? It's such an interesting, phenomenal read. I know it's hyped, but I love it, and I cannot wait to read Vengeful. I'm not going to lie to you, I am very nervous about it because I loved Vicious so much. I don't, you know, is it going to live up to Vicious? Is it going to be better than Vicious, or is it just going to be okay? I don't know, but either way, I'm definitely planning to read it. Very, very excited for it. Another book that's coming out at the end of the month that I don't have, the last one I don't physically have to show you, is The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kirsten White. It also comes out on the 25th, like I just said. This is a book all about Elizabeth, who has a very rough life, as in the Frankenstein family takes her in and she gets really close to Victor and she starts to want to please him in any way she can, even how sickening his ways are. And so I think it's about his creation of the monster and how Elizabeth is going to play a part in it. So it's kind of, I guess, like a Frankenstein retelling, but not quite, but kind of a spin on it. Either way, very, very interested in it. I love the cover. It sounds like a perfect fall read, and I can't wait to check it out. So the rest of the books I actually have physically in my hand. The next one I want to read is another YA fantasy. This is a big YA month for me. I feel like last month I read like all adult books, and this month I'm kind of reading all YA books. Just, you know, a new month, change things up, why not? The one I want to read is Seafire by Natalie C. Parker. This book is about like women pirates. That's all I know about it, and that's all I want to know about it. I've heard it's really good for sisterhood, and it even says sisterhood of survival. I heard the romantic interest is really not necessary, but I don't know. I'm expecting to really enjoy it. I do remember reading a Natalie C. Parker like short story in an anthology and really loving her writing style, so I hope to really enjoy this. And quite honestly, I have a lot of YA fantasy on my shelf that I just need to I need to tear it down a little bit because it's getting out of control. So this month is a perfect month for that. And the last book I want to read, I don't know which one yet. So I think with this, I'm going to read a few chapters of each and decide which one to go with. And the two that are possibly I'm going to be reading are Fox by Nadine Brandis. I don't know much about this one. This is another retelling. I think it's about Thomas Fawkes is turning to stone, and the only cure to the stone plague is to join his father's plot to assassinate the King of England. It is a retelling. I just don't know of what, and I feel stupid for that, but either way, I've heard really, really good things about this book, so I really want to check it out. And the other one I want to check out is Dance of Thieves by Mary Pearson. This is set in the same world, I believe, as her Kiss of Deception series, which I haven't read, but I don't know much about this one either. It just says a stunning new adventure set in the kingdoms of Remnant. I don't know. I don't know much about either of these, so my plan is to read a few chapters from both, and whichever one I'm enjoying, I shall read. I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm kind of hoping it's this one because this one's a lot shorter than this one. This one's a long book, but we'll see where my heart will lead me. So again, another kind of random TBR month, but like I said, in a few weeks I'll be uploading my Contemporary-a-thon TBR, so I have a whole bunch of books I'm planning to read for that one, so check them out. So check the video out when it comes out in a couple of weeks. If you have heard of any of these books, please let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them and which one I should read first, or, you know, especially with these two, which one would you recommend more for me to check out? I would love to hear. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up, hit subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.